Hi everyone, and welcome to the Timeless History channel with me, Deric, aka Sal, the Omega Enthusiast. If you dig deep enough, you will find some interesting and unique vintage timepieces on the market. In this episode, I want to share one of Omega's most controversial, mysterious, and rarest timepieces, the Omega Synchro Beat, also known as the pre-quartz era ticking second mechanical watch. That's right, it's not battery operated, but a manual wind watch that ticks. In the early 1950s, a handful of watch companies, including Omega, Rolex, Doxa, and Jaeger-LeCoultre, to name a few, introduced a fascinating and newly innovative watch known universally as the dead second. Rolex called their True Beat, and is probably the market's most well-known dead second watch. Two things they all have in common are they are extremely rare watches, and if you can find one, it costs a lot of money. In 1952, Omega launched their dead second watch known as the Omega Synchro Beat to the market. These watches were primarily made for doctors to calculate a patient's pulse rate. However, the small market demand and mechanical issues caused them to diminish from the market. While Rolex had their True Beat watches available for 5 years in the market, Omega Synchro Beat had a few months shelf life between October 22, 1952 and January 30, 1954. The main problem with the Omega Synchro Beat is its lubrication issue with its movement, which caused Omega to retract all Synchro Beats from their retail stores. Omega only released 1,000 pieces of its Synchro Beats watches, where over 700 pieces went to the US as part of the Norman Morris collection. According to a Journey Through Time book, which features pretty much every watch from the Omega Museum up to 2007, an example and a brief history of the Synchro Beat is found on page 193. From the information provided, some watch enthusiasts like myself have gone nuts over the years hunting down one of these mysterious timepieces. It is said that a series of 1,000 Synchro Beat watches were manufactured within 15 months, and they were all housed in the exact 18K gold case made for the Norman Morris US collection. The 720 exported pieces were rapidly taken off the market and returned to Switzerland, where the cases were melted down and the movement stripped down for parts. However, as described by a former employee, 17 of 720 pieces were sold and could not be traced and recalled. What happened to the remaining 280 pieces that were not imported is also a mystery, but they are most likely melted and stripped down as well. It has been a controversial topic in the Synchrobeat enthusiast community, where many of us, including myself, believe more than just the 17 pieces got sold. As he explained in one of his essays, Dasman, a constellation watch expert from Australia, has encountered around a dozen pieces within 4 years. A friend in New York said he has seen at least 14 to 15 pieces over a decade. I personally have seen at least 8 pieces, including the one in my collection. It is possible that the 12 pieces Dasman encountered, the 14 to 15 pieces my friend has seen, and the 8 from my record are the same watches because none of us have seen all 17 pieces or have compared movement serial number. Hearing that only 17 pieces were sold is hard to believe, don't you agree? But regardless of the exact number of pieces sold, even if 1 to 200 pieces were sold, the Synchro Beat would still be a scarce and highly collectible timepiece. Most likely only a third or half the amount that actually got sold may have survived. So finally obtaining one is like a dream come true for me. According to the 1953 advertisement, the price of a Synchro Beat was $375, which was quite a lot of money back then, but selling several hundred pieces within 15 months would still make sense. The 18K solid gold case consists of 2 parts, the bezel and body as one piece, and a snap open back. If you own this watch, please do not attempt to pop the bezel open because it won't, and you will damage the case. The Synchro Beat's model reference number is OT14306. It measures 35 millimeters across, excluding the crown, by 39.5 millimeters from lug to lug. The case thickness, including the acrylic low dome crystal, is 9.5 millimeters. The case lug width is 18 millimeters. The Synchrobeat was only made available in solid 18K yellow gold. Its case design is quite similar to a Patek Philippe 2557 reference. The distinctive dial design features 18K double bricks and arrow-hour index combination. One vital exterior feature to complete the watch is its iconic skinny blue steel arrow pointer second hand. The dial reads Omega chronometer officially certified and has the word Swiss below the 6 o'clock. The set of hour and minute hands is also 18K gold, and the correct original crown is quite slim and has the Omega logo. The case does not carry a case gasket. Since there is a photo of the original advertisement, we know that the watch originally came with a stitched leather strap that looked something like this, and the clasp has a sign raised logo. Unfortunately, there is no record of what the original box looks like, but I assume it comes in one of the Norman Morris Omega watch boxes, something like this. The movement inside this watch is what makes it unique. The manual wind movement is in Omega caliber 372 with 17 jewels. Omega only made 1,000 pieces of this movement, and all the recall pieces were stripped down. I would guess less than 99% of watchmakers around the globe have had the opportunity to work on this Omega caliber. Several parts from a caliber 372 are used in over a dozen other caliber. For example, the yoke cover is the same as on all bumper automatic, all 500 series, caliber 410, 420, 370, 371, and the list continues. This is my first time working on this caliber, and I must admit I was both excited and nervous. I was skeptical and worried that there would be a lubrication issue. It turns out the movement was quite fun and unique to work on. It has 3 extra gears, 2 of which I've never seen inside other Omega movement. The ticking second works quite brilliantly in this movement. The third wheel on this caliber has an extra gear mounted with a hairspring. The hairspring gets wind and releases its energy every second, unleashing its energy to a whip with a pinion that flicks and kicks the intermediate wheel. The intermediate wheel is connected to the sweep second wheel, causing the second hand to tick instead of sweep. The RG regulator Omega has chosen to use on this movement makes it more desirable. After the service, I did not find any lubrication issue. The watch works as it should and keeps excellent time within 3 to 5 seconds daily. The Omega Synchro Beat is a simple dress watch that resembles other dress watches. If you're not an Omega watch nerd and a watchmaker like myself, I would probably not recommend it to you. However, as an Omega enthusiast and the watchmaker side of me wishes to work on a caliber 372 for a very long time, the Synchro Beat is a must-have. Here's a tip. Since Omega only made 1,000 pieces of the caliber 372, if you own a Synchrobeat, record its movement serial number. If the watch is ever lost or stolen, immediately let the watch community know. This way, whoever has your Synchrobeat cannot be resold and will only be worth its gold value. Let me know your thoughts, or if you wish to share anything with us about the Omega Synchro Beat. Do you own one or any other dead second vintage watches? If you enjoy watching this video and have learned something new, please share, give it a thumbs up, and consider subscribing to the channel. You can always support my work on Patreon, and I will leave a link in the description box below. That's the end of this episode, and I look forward to seeing you in the following video.